racing in its purest form. Real cars on real roads, real fast. It's the Subaru Canadian Rally Championship on TSN.
Welcome to Maniwaki, Quebec. Paul Chater here. Vic Router is on assignment at the Briars, so joining me on today's broadcast will be three-time Canadian champion Tom McGeer. Maniwaki is about 2 hours north of Ottawa, and today it plays host to the 35th Rallye Perce, round 2 in the Subaru Canadian Rally Championship.
Well, Paul, it's great to see so many teams out. There's a record entry for this event, 46 teams, and first off the start line is defending champion Frank Sprongel.
And their Audi S2 Quattro is down to about 370 horsepower due to the restrictor plates, Tom, but power is not going to be the important thing on this event. I think the tires and the traction and the handling probably going to be the most important. They're sponsored by Yokohama. The team is using a new prototype ice tire that'll go on sale next fall.
We're watching them on stage 2 here. It's about 6.5 kilometers, and it's a very quick little stage.
Car number 2 is a Subaru Impreza driven by Americans John Buffum and Doug Shepard. The car's prepared to FIA Group N specs, and Buffum won his last rally here in Quebec, the Rallye Auto Charlevoix in October. He's had a long career, more than 40 Canadian Championship Rally wins and 11 U.S. national titles. Unquestionably, North America's most accomplished rally driver. Now that's a split time you see in the lower right-hand corner. We'll be checking the speeds of the cars through each stage.
Car number 3, Sylvain Vincent and Dominic Cyr from La Plaine, Quebec, in their 350 horsepower Subaru Impreza RS. This year, Sylvain is sponsored by Subaru Lachute and Yokohama, and Sylvain is using the same tires as the Sprongels. As I said, quick little stage, we're about the third corner in, and it's a nasty little corner. It comes up very quickly, and it's very icy on the exit. And, whoa. Sylvain has just lost it a little bit. It's really easy to do this in these conditions. Watching the clock count the time.
Tom, it looks like they've spread a little bit of sand on the road, but it's still pretty slippery.
Looks like he's lost about 8 seconds there, and that's the problem. There is some sand, but on the exit of the corners, the sand's been pushed away.
And we're back with the Sprongels approaching the split time.
Jump.
A little bump in the road. And their split time, 2 minutes and 5 seconds, will be the time to beat.
Into right. Into left.
5, 4.
Tom, you'd start fourth with Mark Williams in Subaru Canada's WRX Impreza. How confident did you feel coming into this event?
Well, after the second place in Quebec, we did some work on the car and a little bit of tire testing, and we felt that we could really ace this event. We were going flat out right from the start. This third corner again, really slippery on the exit. Sylvain had the problem, and so did I.
Settle down. Thanks.
There's Mark just calming me down a little bit. It's really easy to get over exuberant on these fast stages.
And here's Buffum approaching the split time through this stage. The time to beat is 2:05. He's already well past it. 8 seconds slower than the Sprongels, but Buffum's still getting used to his car.
Here comes Sylvain Vincent and Dominic.
Jump.
They're calling it a jump at this corner. It's more like a little bump on the left-hand side of the road.
Jump.
And there's the bump at 2:26, well off the pace, but remember, they had a spin.
That's probably rattled them just a little bit.
For the Sprongels approaching the finish line, 3:33, the time to beat. That's an odd sound.
Yeah, you can see that they're talking about it. Dan seems to think it's a heat shield maybe running on the drive shaft.
And Tom, here you are approaching
straight
the
over
split.
crest.
.211, second fastest. Good run.
The car's running really well. Here we're watching Buffum come into the finish line. Extremely quick piece of road, 3 minutes, 42 seconds. That puts him in second place, but 9 seconds down on the Sprongels. John obviously likes that road.
He always has a good time. 30 years of rally, he still has fun. Vincent arrives at the finish 24 seconds behind.
This is a very, very quick little piece of road, and the finish line are coming through it here at about 170 kilometers an hour with an average speed of about 110 on the stage. It's quick.
That was a scary one, wasn't it? Oh my God. You got some balls there.
Oh, you obviously scared Mark, Tom. Did you scare yourself?
Well, you know, if you're not getting scared, you're not quick. And I rattled myself a little bit at the beginning of the stage.
Here's car number 5, Barry and Santa Latre from Williamstown, Ontario, in their Eagle Talon.
Nasty little corner here. It's lots of traction at the entrance, but it's glare ice at the exit, and there Barry's paying the price.
Now, he just lost front traction, went straight off.
Big, heavy car like that into the snowbank, and he's going to be in there for a long time.
Yves Barbe, Pierre Bazinet, car number 6, an Eagle Talon, always a contender in these conditions. 4th fastest on this stage, just 2 seconds behind Buffum, but well clear of Vincent and the rest of the field. And no spectators to help Barry Latre. He had to dig his own way out of this one, but he couldn't get out within the half hour allowed by the rules, so he was classified, did not finish.
Car number 7, Group 2 VW Golf GTI of John Nichols and Mike Koch. Group 2 is for 2-wheel drive cars, and Nichols has got a 6-speed Golf. It's 10th fastest on the stage, and that's quite an accomplishment because of the top 15, he was the only 2-wheel drive car.
And here's the leaderboard after 2 stages. The Sprongles, 3 seconds ahead of McGear and Williams. Buffum and Shepard in 3rd spot. Rallye on TSN is brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radials. Yokohama, now you've got control. And by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive. Welcome back to the Rallye Perce. Paul Chater here along with Tom McGear. Tom, we're riding with the Sprongles on stage 4, 8.6 kilometers. What's the surface like?
It's a very quick little road and just a beautiful stage. It's got a fair amount of braking in it. You can see the little pieces of gravel on the road helping cars in the braking zone.
To 300 hard left. 200.
And coming through the finish control, the Sprongles complete the stage in 5 minutes, 16 seconds, average speed of 98 kilometers an hour. Here's John Buffum in 3rd position coming into this stage, trailing the Sprongles by 18 seconds. And he'll come through the finish control in 5:15, pulling 1 second closer to the Audi in the overall rally. Now, Tom, we're inside with you in 2nd place, just 1 second behind the Sprongles.
In 30, double caution, narrow bridge to finish. In 10, double caution, narrow bridge to finish.
Across the narrow bridge, through the finish, and Tom, you'll tie Buffum's score, and you pull into a tie for 1st place overall.
Riding with Keith Townsend and Rod Hendrickson. Last rally for Keith's 4-wheel drive Toyota. It's only 200 horsepower, but he's flying on this stage, and he actually wins the stage by 2 seconds.
And we've had 4 different winners in the first 4 special stages. Now let's have a look at the leaderboard. On the first stage, Sylvain Vincent jumped out to an early lead of 4 seconds over McGear, Sprongle, Buffum, and Barbe. Frank Sprongle won stage 2 and pulled into an overall lead of 3 seconds ahead of McGear. Vincent, suffering turbo problems, dropped back to 5th. Tom McGear won the 3rd stage for Subaru, but was still 1 second behind rally leader Frank Sprongle. Buffum was 3rd, followed by Barbe, Vincent, and Townsend. Townsend won the 4th stage to move up to 5th spot. Sprongle and McGear tied to the 2nd. At the service, the cars are refueled, but the critical question here is what tire to use. They have tires for ice, tires for deep snow, and tires for a little bit of both, and everyone is guessing what tire to choose that'll be perfect for the next 4 special stages.
It's going really well. We just did one last 10-kilometer blast up to here, and it was nice, very slippery, and actually there's more braking than you thought there was, but it's kind of hard to go into a corner and think, boy, I got a lot of traction coming into the corner, and then hit glare ice on the exit, so we're all being a bit cautious. From here, the real rally starts, and right now we're tied with Sprongle in 1st place, and Buffum's 1 second behind us, but, you know, we're going to really go for it now.
We'll have to wait and see now. When we leave here, it'll be a very interesting tire choice, because we really don't know what the roads are like, and whether they're icy or snowy, and then it will depend upon who chooses what tire.
Into right over crest. Foot right.
The Sprongles have picked an intermediate tire. That's the Yokohama Gardex ice tires, but they've cut some extra grooves in them to give us some performance in the deep snow. Basically, Buffum and I have made the same choice. He's on Yokohamas, and I'm running on Toyos.
Tom, is this a decision you make independently, or do you look at what your competitors are running on and use that as a strategy to get ahead?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of guesswork going on in the service area, but really what you're trying to do here is make a safe choice. You don't want something that's going to work solely on ice or in deep snow, because we don't know what we're going to get. Watching Frank coming through the first of the 4 stages, and you can see there the road conditions have changed, and it's a little bit of ice and a little bit of deeper snow. That grinding noise you're hearing is a little bit worrisome. You can see how it's unsettling the car, and every time he left foot brakes coming over a crest, it tends to step out a little bit. Frank's complaining that the center differential is acting up on him. It's locking and unlocking and switching the car from rear-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive.
And he'd win this stage, moving into sole possession of the lead, 13 seconds ahead of you, Tom.
In the classes, John Nichols, Mike Koch comfortably Group 2.
Mark Racine and Luke Pichet lead Production GT.
Mark Krafchuk and Arthur Trojanovich leading the class in 1750 in the 3-cylinder Subaru.
Scott Cummins and Harry Perce have their Plymouth Neon leading the production sport class. Don't go away. Everything is about to change. Welcome back to Maniwaki, Quebec. Paul Chater here with Tom McGear on the Rallye Perce. Tom, we're on stage 6, 21 Ks long. The Sprongles are leading in their Audi S2, but you're gaining on them.
Well, this is the make-or-break stages of the event, and as usual, Frank's driving his take-no-prisoners style, and he's absolutely flat around these corners. Got to be a little bit hard, though, with that handling being a bit variable. Coming up to a blind crest here, it doesn't look like much as he comes up to it.
Holy horseshoe up the
Wow. Oh, man, he came close on that one.
And a few minutes later, John Nichols, a Group 2 leader, makes the same mistake, and he's running at approximately the same speed, Tom.
Yeah, that's 4th gear coming up that hill, about 120, 130, and Frank's cleaned the snowbank out.
Ooh, that hurt right on the front bump.
Well, Nichols is out. Frank's stage is going from bad to worse. That bang, that was a rock in the ditch, and it's taken out the left rear of the car.
Ouch, definitely flat.
Yeah, definitely flat. 13 kilometers to the finish line. A lot of front end damage. The chin spoiler gone. This car is disintegrating kind of piece by piece along this stage.
And you can see that left rear is definitely down.
But the Sprongles are 3rd fastest on the stage. Now, Tom, your Subaru seems to be running perfectly. Good tire choice, but you're not aware that Sprongles have had a problem.
No, we're following him on the road.
Oh, he had an off.
You can see he had an off. He's cleaned out about 30 meters of the snowbank on the left-hand side. You can see the bits of that spoiler in the ditch. This stage, however, we don't really know that Frank's had a problem, although we are closing on him. He is ahead of us.
And coming up to the finish control, Tom, you'll win the stage and move back into the lead. And John Buffum's getting faster and faster as he gets used to this car, and he's starting to put some pressure on him.
Yeah, John's flying on this stage. He's got about 70 horsepower less in this car, but it's the old master at work, and he's only 3 seconds slower than us over the 21 kilometers, and now he's in 2nd place.
And there are dramas playing out throughout this 43-car field. Here's Keith Townsend keeping pace with the leaders in 6th place until...
That's the overplow at work. We talked about it before, and he's caught the right front wheel in the overplow, and without any horsepower, it just drags him in and spins him around.
And he's stuck. Next is Robert Yankosh. Everybody spins on winter events.
That's the overplow at work once again, but he's got lucky. He's put himself back onto the road again and keeps on moving. Luckily, right in front of the TV cameras.
And when Yankosh arrives at Townsend's stuff into the snowbank, the Toyota has already been stuck for 8 minutes. That's our stuff timer down there in the right corner. Yankosh will stop, connect to Townsend's tow strap, and yank the car out of the snowbank.
Well, that's one of the nicest things about rallying is how you can be competing against each other, and everybody's helping out.
Having lost 10 minutes and dropped well down the standings, Townsend and Hendrickson get going again, but are immediately passed by Eric Tremblay's Subaru, 2nd in the GT class.
Here comes Patrick Richard and Richard McCurdy. They're right behind and 3rd in the class.
Townsend closes right up on Tremblay's Subaru, and depending on your point of view, either the road's a little narrow or the Subaru is a bit too wide. Either way, the two cars touch and they both go off.
Patrick Richards coming up on the aftermath of this, and as you can see from his in-car, if you look on the right-hand side of the road as he comes around the corner, first there's Tremblay, and just a little bit past, way off the road, is Keith Townsend. Woohoo! You know, I'm in second place now. Great. For about 10 meters.
Yeah, and he's going to join the other two in this snowbank. With his two production GT rivals breaking out the shovels, Mark Racine and Luc Bichet extend their class lead.
We can make a deal. If we help them, they'll help us. Hey, let's go talk to Eric. All you need here.
They're all trying to make a deal to help each other. The stuff timer already more than 12 minutes in the snowbank. The three teams are stranded. Townsend was too far off, couldn't be rescued. The other two Subarus got going.
And that's Patrick Richard's toe strap on top of Eric Tremblay's car, and they both come into the finish line together. At least they're still running.
Richard gained nearly a minute on his rival and moved into second place in the GT class. At the front, running first on the road but third in the standings, Sprongel back on four wheels, and he's flying.
He's absolutely flying. He won stage 7 to move ahead of Buffman and back into second place.
300 hard right.
Nasty little corner coming up here.
You bastard.
He's not happy about that. It's really slippery on the entry to that corner, and he's just pushed himself off into the ditch.
And here's our leader, Tom McGear. Tom, everything seems to be working perfectly today. The weather conditions are good, road conditions not bad, good tire choice, you in the car, flying.
It's a great event. I was really enjoying myself on this one, and it's just a beautiful day for a rally, especially when you're in first place.
And when you see that ahead of you, what did you think when you saw Frank stuffed into the snowbank?
Well, I got to admit, now that I'm first on the road, it's got to be a bit worrisome. I'm going to find the holes now.
And here we are with Buffum getting used to his car, and he's really charging, bouncing off of snowbanks, and obviously enjoying it. Now, he does not know Sprongel is off the road. Watch John's eyes as he comes up to the accident with Sprongel in the snowbank. Right there, big surprise.
And you can see why. Look how close he came to Frank's car.
Thank you.
That is a hard.
Yep.
Yeah, he's telling Doug to mark the corner so that next time through, he's not going to make the same mistake. Coming into the finish line of stage 8, Buffum is fastest on this stage, and now he's chipping away only 13 seconds behind.
Finally out of the ditch, Sprongel finds himself in a place you've been sometimes too, Tom, trying to catch the leaders with an ailing car. He's fallen to 6th, but anything can happen on a winter rally.
What didn't go wrong? We broke the center diff on the first stage today. So cars going front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, four wheel drive. You come into a corner, it's four wheel drive, then goes rear wheel drive on you. First, second stage here, we just over jumped, landed in a snowbank, lost the front air dam on the car. Then got a flat about 4 clicks in, drove 15 clicks on a flat. And then on the last stage, I went in rear wheel drive in a caution right hand corner and just poof, became one with nature for about 8 minutes. And that was it. 8 minutes. Not my rally, but it's not over yet.
And here's the leaderboard after 8 stages. The Subaru is running 1, 2, 3. The fight to the finish is coming up. Welcome back, Paul Chater with Tom McGear, who is leading the final leg of the Rallye Perce Neige. Tom, there are still nearly 100-kilometer stages to run. Normally, with an 8-minute lead over Frank Sprongel, you could afford to relax a bit.
Well, normally being the operative word here, with John Buffum 13 seconds behind and Sylvain Vincent behind him, can't afford to take it too easy.
See why everybody went off.
That's the second time through the point where Frank had his big off the first time. Sprongel's realistically might be able to recover to 3rd place in a winter event. You never know what's going to happen. The roads are getting a lot slicker now because it's all been polished after the first run through.
There, hard right into hard left, hard right.
That car looks like it's very difficult to handle. And of course, back into a snowbank. Let's watch the stuff timer. At least they're laughing this time, Tom.
Well, I think at this stage they've just resigned themselves that it's not going to be their event. Good load of spectators showing up, so that'll help them out.
And as has happened so many times before, the rally was coming to John Buffum. He was just 13 seconds off the lead. Tom, your Subaru was ahead on the road, so Buffum would know if you had any trouble. He was comfortable with the Yokohama intermediate tires, and more important, he's seen the roads once already. And it's time time to start charging.
Vincent Cyr, third overall, starting the last leg. Still suffering from turbocharger problem that's taken about 100 horsepower away, and they're coming up on the same spot. You can see the triangle where Dan's put the triangle out to warn the cars, and that's going to help everybody get around that corner. You can see the spectators helping out, and how nasty the corner is. Look at all the tire marks on the exit of the corner from previous run-through.
Yves Barbe is comfortably in 4th place. He can't realistically improve on that position without someone falling off in front of him, but he'd like to hang on to 4th and not be caught by Frank Sprongel. Now they're slowing down, seeing the triangle as well, getting past the stuff, and the Sprongels with the help of about a dozen spectators get their Audi rolling again. Anything can happen in a winter rally, and just around the next corner, it happened to Yves Barbe.
That's out off.
There's the warning triangle.
Medium right. Out the Barbe. Have on it, forget it. And I'm a toe hooks.
Well, Yves didn't stop for Frank, and Frank's not going to stop for Yves. Drama isn't over yet. John Buffum is flying on this stage. Moved into the lead now, but he's gone wide on this corner here. Bang, into the snowbank. What that's done is it's filled the air intake with snow. The snow's going to start to melt in there and get onto the mass airflow sensor. And as the sensor gets wetter and wetter, the computer starts shutting the car down. He's come to a dead halt in the stage. He's going to spend 4 minutes sitting in there. Here comes Sylvain Vincent. He's cruising up, and there's somebody waving up ahead. That's Buffum. Yeah, Buffum pulled over on the side of the road. Sylvain's going past.
He was able to pull the hood up and clear out some of the packed snow, but he lost 4 minutes and the rally right there. And that's the way it finished. McGear, Buffum, and Vincent first, second, and third, all in Subaru Imprezas. John Pizzagalli, Lance Smith, Americans in 4th place in their Mitsubishi. And when, Tom, was the last time we saw the Sprongels in 5th place?
Long time.
We broke the diff on the first stage today, so everything was just downhill from there. I think I got enough stuffs for it to last me a lifetime.
Ontario's Scott Cummins and Harry Perce win Production Sport. Ulysses Pereira and Tom Bartman take Group 2 for Toyota. Kravchuk and Trojanovic win another 1750 title for Subaru. And with Racine out on the second last stage, Richard and McCurdy win Production GT 6th overall. So it's McGear, Buffum, and Vincent 1, 2, 3. TSN's coverage of the Perce Neige was brought to you in part by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive, and by Yokohama Performance Radios. Yokohama, now you've got control. For Tom McGear and our entire TSN crew, I'm Paul Chater. Thanks for joining us. Vic Browder will be back when the championship resumes in Edson, Alberta in May.